Well then, you want to know how to get into this cult now, do you? What's that? You don't know what a cult is? Well, how about I tell you it? Now then, what is a cult exactly, you might be wondering? A cult is simply a group or organization that has an idea that can be seen as questionable or extreme by an ordinary person. And the idea can be very dangerous. An example of this would be the Ku Klux Klan, or in shorts, KKK members. They were an American cult that did a lot of questionable things, such as burning, riots, and doing some pretty naughty things with people like me or other minorities. But you get the gist of what a cult is basically now. A group that is doing harmful ideas and just overall not good. But keyword when I say idea, because while some ideas can be harmful, some ideas can be different and not seen as common. What do I mean by that? Well, think about it. We all have our own friend groups that we really don't talk to other people about. But does that mean it's a cult necessarily because you have your own ideas that you don't share with everybody else? Or how about this? You have this absolute banger restaurant that has a pretty good sauce and you want to share the secret recipe, but you can't share it because only a specific amount of people can know the recipe. And as since they can only know it, it's their own idea that's not commonly known. Is that a cult too? Or how about this? You know this very powerful card in Yu-Gi-Oh that you really want to learn and you really want to share, but you don't want to because it is a secret technique that only you can know, and some of your friends. Is that a cult too? With all those examples I've just said, obviously, no, they're not cults. But the idea of how the cult was made is because people had their own ideas and, well, that idea became harmful within that cult. But with those ideas from anybody else and it's not being harmful based on those examples, then it's not a cult. Now, of course, there are some instances where ideas can be harmful nowadays, and a good example of this would be with social media. Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. All those type of sites. For this example, I'm going to be specifically focusing on TikTok because, oh boy, that site has a lot of interesting things. And not in a good way. There was this trend going on where users would hijack cars as a challenge. Yeah.
Bro, look at these dumbass Kia boys. Oh my god.
Now, obviously, I don't need to explain why this is a bad thing, especially for a challenge, but could that be seen as a cult necessarily because of it being a bad idea? Not necessarily because there isn't like a mastermind behind all of this, but instead it's just people following a trend and trying to be goofy with it, even though it's not goofy, but hey, that's social media for you nowadays. Well, sometimes there are some good things like memes. So to get into summary, a cult is basically a group or organization that keeps an idea that is harmful towards everyone around themselves. And while some of those ideas may be secret and may not be shared with everyone else, it is not necessarily a cult for that reason because the idea itself isn't harmful. Moral of the story? Don't join a cult and have good ideas. That's all I say for now, but if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to my secret lair.